Imagine yourself on patrol through the mountains of Afghanistan. Top of all the tons of gear you got to carry on your back, you're also holding a small, lightweight rifle that's actually been battle tested and still carries on strong today. You might think to yourself, what were the original young GIs in Vietnam thinking when they first held these rifles in their original form? My name is Andre Vartani. Today, I'll be talking about the creation and evolution of the M16, M4, and AR-15 rifle. I will go over the creation of this rifle and some of the original issues that came with it. Also, I'd cover the evolution into today's version and the transition to the civilian market. Let's take a look back to 1956. Alright, back in 56, a guy named Mr. Eugene Stoner created one of the most widely known and technologically advanced rifles known to man, the M16A1 rifle. As stated by the Encyclopedia Britannica, the rifle received high remarks because of its lightweight, its accuracy, and the volume of fire that it could provide. The rifle was originally created because personnel were having issues with the heavy wood stock .308 rifles that they were carrying during Vietnam, which is the M14 rifle. Now, some of the issues that were being said was because the wood stock would start to warp in the hot and heat, the humidity and the heat in the jungles, and that would throw the accuracy off. Armalite originally had issues with advertising the rifle, and it stayed relatively quiet until the rights for the rifle were sold to Colt Manufacturing LLC, and it was initially accepted and put into action by the United States Air Force in 1962 as the AR-15 rifle. Once this was complete, the Department of Defense made the transition. It was officially known as the XM16E1 rifle. Like all things new, the rifle came with some issues, although after some investigation and some inspections were conducted, it was concluded that none of these issues were directly caused by the M16 rifle. The military was sold on the idea that the rifle was just like the AK-47 in regards to reliability, so they didn't issue any cleaning kits for these rifles initially. Another issue was, its largest flaw was that the rifle had lots of jamming, failed to eject issues, which mean that the spent or used round wasn't being cycled out of the chamber. It was concluded that this was because the gunpowder being used, which had not been thoroughly tested. Once cleaning kits and gunpowder issues were corrected, it drastically reduced the problems in the field. In 1967, the United States military adopted the M16A1 rifle to supersede the M14 rifle. Colt also wanted to expand the use of the rifle and made it available for civilian law enforcement and other agencies as the AR-15. Now let's take a look at the evolution of this rifle. Alright, the evolution of the M16A1 rifle goes a long way. This right here is a civilian model of the M16A4. Alright, once this rifle was adopted, it had been reworked and revamped numerous times. First change was the M16A2 rifle, which was adopted by the United States Marine Corps in the 1980s. They wanted a more battle-hardened version of the M16, so according to militaryfactory.com, some of the changes were reinforced barrel, new rifling pattern, support of a 40mm grenade launcher of the M203, and changing the flash hider. Alright, replacement of the triangular handguard with a more circular one. Alright, they also opted to change from a full automatic fire to a more controlled 3-shot burst, as well as semi-automatic fire. Alright, the new version of the M16A4, although it's not that significantly different from the M16A2, was the handguard had been replaced with a rail system, and the carry handle on the upper receiver had been removed for the installation of a scope, like so, or a red dot optic. Alright, let's keep going. Let's take a look at something else. The birth of the M4 carbine. Alright, since the creation of the M16, militaries and law enforcement have always wanted a shortened, more effective rifle. And in the 1970s and 1980s, that call got louder and louder. The U.S. military had originally tried working with the carbine, which was the M1 carbine during the 1941 during World War II, but during Vietnam, the use of these smaller carbines weren't really needed. The U.S. Army adopted the Colt Model 720 Select Fire carbine in 1994. This is the essence, just a shortened version of the M16 rifle. The M16s have a 20-inch barrel, with a fixed buttstock, whereas the M4 carbine has a 16-inch barrel with a collapsible buttstock. Alright, which can just be adjusted for the length of shooters. The M4A1 and the M4 only differ by the trigger group, where the M4A1 can fire in fully automatic, the M4 can only fire in controlled 3-shot bursts or semi-automatic fire. The rifle caught the eye of the U.S. Special Operations Command as a standardized weapon to be used due to its weight, size, and the ability to dress up the M4 with any optics, flashlights, or any other add-ons the user wants. Kind of like this. Got an EOTech with the magnifier on there. I can swap it on and off. Got my iron sights on here. Forward grip, rubberized. I mean, this thing is pretty much like a grown man's Barbie. Alright, now we're going to transition over to the civilian model, the AR-15. The civilian AR-15 was almost to the T exact same as the military versions. The only difference is, again, only fires in semi-automatic. Right? As you can see, this rifle isn't very different from any of the other ones I showed you. Got an 18-inch barrel, collapsible stock, removable carry handle, so I got an optic on there, forward grip. So in essence, it's no different than what the military really uses. Well, in conclusion, I've covered the birth of the M16 rifle, the issues that arise with the birth of the rifle, and the evolution of the M4 carbine and civilian model AR-15s. These rifles have been around for over 50 years, and I don't see it coming to an end in the near future. This rifle is battle tested and is held in high regard by both military, law enforcement, and civilian alike. Thank you very much for listening to my speech, and have a wonderful day.